Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Temple family. Isn't this a beautiful morning? Welcome to everyone in the sanctuary and for those online. Do we have anyone here for the first time? No? First time today? No. So welcome back. At this time, we're going to go into our opening prayer. So wherever you are in the world, including in the sanctuary here, we're going to bring God's consciousness. And God, the one source of all that there is, that infinite source of love, health, wealth. We are one with this one source. And we're knowing that as we embody and hear and listen to the service today, each one of us takes away our enlightenment or message to continue to unfold and evolve as that perfect expression of God. And so we are knowing for everyone that this message today touches each and every one of you and your community, and our pictures from Jamaica and the world, and this light illuminating from the Temple of Light is felt throughout the universe. And so we're knowing this to be the experience and unfoldment of our true self. And so we release this to the law of mind for action, knowing that this is so, and so it is. Wow. So it is a wonderful morning. And so as we move on with our program today, we are going to go, of course, to our affirmation of divine love. And so you'll see it on the screen, or if you have the program on your phone or a program in hand, please follow along. Divine love there's a technical glitch at this time. Okay, let us proceed. Does everyone have the program? Yes, in hand? Okay, great. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good for this church. No. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. So, sometimes we have this technical, logical glitches, but everything is where? In divine order. At this time, we're going to invite you to stand for our praise song, I'm Choosing Heaven Today. Praise song this morning. Thank you. Yes. And just remember, it's by our own Ricky Byers.
Wait, no. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road
of heaven right now.
Singing, I'm choosing heaven today. What's next? I'm choosing peace today. We choose peace. I'm choosing peace today.
I am walking the road of heaven right now.
Singing, I'm choosing peace today. We choose joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. Singing, I'm choosing joy today. I choose love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. I choose heaven. I choose in heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today.
Wow. I'm going to ask you to remain standing for our prayer of our center in your program. The Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes in contact with it in any way. The light of Christ illumines our center and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God spans our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly on the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and glory forever. And so it is. At this time, we're going to invite our youth to light the candle. Symbolic. Will be. And so we say at this time, Janicia, come up, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Janicia.
I light this candle on behalf of all youth of the world. Let us behold the Christ today, and so it is.
So it is. We love you. We appreciate you. We salute the Christ in you. And we see you as shining lights unto your world. God is blessing you now, and so it is. And guess what? This is what special month for youth? Can anyone tell me from the audience?
Jasmine.
Right. And so as a part of the Practitioners Initiative, today we're going to start with our first group, and we're going to give them a small token of appreciation of how we love them so dearly. And so they're going to bring up this token for us. Thank you. And we're going to give them a small token at this time. Coming? Are they coming up?
We have some bottles with
Yes.
affirmation. Water
Right?
bottles.
So we just wanted them to bring up the tokens out of the
Paulette, it's
our
your
hospitality
back,
team. Thank you.
and we wanted to
Right.
say affirmations of success for our little ones who are taking exams, C6. Hold down your head. I think my
Come
voice
on.
loud enough. Tyrell taking exams. We have Janice behind me. We have Sean taking exams this month. Imagine they grow up in our hands and they're all taking exams C6 already. So we wish them much success.
Yes, so we know that it's exam time, so in addition to affirming their good, we are going to keep them well rehydrated with water, of course. And so these are some small tokens for you. And it says,
Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, joy, peace, and love.
And there's more to come this year as we recognize our special groups in our membership. At this time, we're going to sing. I'm going to invite everyone to stand to sing the Temple of Light mission song. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. The Temple of Light.
No, we have a track.
Okay. Keep you going. Let's get you going.
All right, we can make
Let's
it up.
sing along.
Like the temple
Temple
of
of light,
we
there
have
are people with a vision,
one with spirit
of a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day.
the temple of light, the temple of light, the
Temple of light, we are a people with a vision,
one with spirit of a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. Oh, awesome.
Great. So, can we just give them another round of applause and share our love with our youth on their special month? And this is the future leadership of our temple. At this time, we have some important reminders. So again, welcome to anyone who may have joined us online and in the sanctuary at this time. So of course, our usual spiritual mind healing service, please join our dear Jennifer Livingston right over there. Livingston on Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Zoom and YouTube for an interactive session that promises to be what? Enlightening. And of course, we have our Lifeline series, you know, our exciting event that happens at the end of the month, and it continues on May 30th at 6 p.m. with our dear Reverend Michelle Senegal and her special guest, Reverend Vanicia, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Willis Lufro of Southern Nevada, CSL, discussing strategies for community outreach. So please look for the link, please share, and if you happen to remember at 6 p.m., just Google a little technique, just Google on YouTube, Temple of Light, and I'm sure you will get to the site. Please join us Thursday, and if you can't do that in real time, please watch. And ensure to like and subscribe us as usual. So we are also hosting the University Singers along with the St. Catherine Red Cross on Saturday, June 8th at 4 p.m. And those tickets are moving so fast. So if you do not book and reach out to get those tickets, you will miss a fantastic concert. This is a chance to greet our families and friends and also to work with such an esteemed organization as St. Catherine Red Cross in our work towards community outreach. So come and enjoy a musical fest not to be forgotten. And don't forget, the tickets are going very, very quickly, so come and pick them up after church. Of course, our classes. Well, we do have a brand new online class series, The Consciousness of the Creative Process. And that will be held on June the 6th with Reverend Sonia Davidson and practitioner Steve Golding and Vance Gardner, who will facilitate the CSL accredited class. So please register now. Don't forget, register now. We're waiting to hear from you. And of course, our dear Reverend Michelle Senegal on the 13th of June will also have her 4-week book study entitled The Power of TED, the Empowerment Dynamic. So please register early to ensure that you are able to attend the class. And also, of course, our prayer support is available with Reverend Michelle at the email address prayer.templeoflightcsl.org. Also, our dear practitioner, Vance Garner, is available to pray with you immediately following our Sunday service, and the number to call is 876-289-0907. We also have grief support and counseling available, and so if you'd like that support, please call 876-927-6145. So please share this number with anyone who may need this support, or if you yourself require this support. And of course, we appreciate your contributions and your generosity that has been helping us to be the beacon of light in the world. So if you wish to support our ministry financially, kindly visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org, which has all our banking details. Thank you again for together supporting this church so that we can continue to make this a world that works for everyone. And just a final announcement, as you know, our dear Sean's mother would have made her transition, and so for transportation to her Thanksgiving service on the 9th of June, just check with our dear Reverend Anne at any time after church, just to get the details of the transportation that has been arranged for this event. So thank you again. Please remember those important reminders, and thank you for supporting the church. At this time, I'm going to share an inspirational reading, and this reading is really to build on the talk that's being given by our dear practitioner today, and it's entitled Beloved Community. So our inspirational reading this morning is taken from Joyous Abundance Journal by Petra Wells and Christian Sorens. It begins with an epigraph from basketballer Magic Johnson. How many people know Magic Johnson here? Yes? So Magic Johnson says, I have to tell you, I'm the proudest of my life off the court. There will always be great basketball players who bounce that little round ball. But my proudest moments are affecting people's lives, effecting change, being a role model in the community. And so you can do spiritual work alone in a cave or in your home, but in a community with others, it give and take, sharing and receiving. Learning with others bring a diversity of perspectives. Welcoming a child into the world with a spiritual family committing to lifelong support is comforting. Celebrating the times of joy and providing support during times of pain are gifts of community. To grow with individuals of like mind in affinity groups of a larger family is empowering. To have a shoulder to cry on with someone who understands your spiritual beliefs is calming. When you have friends to sing, dance, and feast with you, you are never alone. In order to help build community, you must continue to develop your inner qualities so you can contribute to the group. The beauty of community is that other members may awaken you to areas from your inner work that can still use some attention. Be grateful your spiritual family and for your spiritual family and trust the process. Ask yourselves, what would it take for me to engage more in my spiritual community? And so I share this affirmation with you, and I'd like you to just repeat after me. My spiritual community is a blessing to my life. My spiritual community is a blessing to my life. And we say, and so it is. So that's your affirmation for the week, one of the affirmations for the week. At this time, I'm going to invite us to go into our chant, Namaste, and this is by our own Mikey Bennett. So our temple singers will assist us in this. Thank you. Namaste, Namaste. Christ of peace and of Christ in you. Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. The Christ in you, the Christ in you. Namaste, Namaste, Namaste. The Christ in you, the Christ in you. Namaste. So at this time, we will go into our affirmative prayer, and we will do an affirmative prayer for health. And so let us go into this consciousness. So we're knowing that God is health, that one source of health. And that one source of health, we are one with it. We are now picturing of health. Every atom, every molecule, every cell in our body is regenerated, reinvigorated, and renews. And we are that health. And so we are knowing this perfection is our true expression of our divine. And we're releasing this, the law of mind for action, knowing that this is so, and so it is. God is health, that health surrounds me, in that health I safely dwell. 'Tis above, beneath, within me, math is mine, and all is well. God is health, pure health, God is health, sweet health, health is mine, mind, and all is well. And at this time, we go into a consciousness for an affirmative prayer for wealth. And we are knowing that the divine God one source is prosperity, wealth, and beauty. And we are one with this source as wealth, prosperity expressed in every aspect of our lives, in our community, wherever you are, out picturing and touching everyone whom we come in contact with as it unfolds. We want of nothing. We have all that we need, all that we desire in all aspects of our life. We know this to be the truth as we express this divine source of wealth. We release this to law of mind for action, knowing that this is so, and so it is. God is well, that wealth surrounds me. In that wealth I safely dwell. 'Tis below, beneath, within me. Earth is mine, and all is well. God is wealth, pure wealth. God is wealth, sweet wealth. Earth is mine, mine, and all is well. And so we go into a consciousness of love. We say this affirmative prayer of love. We're knowing that God is the one source of love. This love manifests as us through our community, our membership, us as Jamaica, all divine beings express this one source of love, the ultimate power that expresses. We feel and radiate this love as it vibrates, shines like the brightest star in the universe and the sun, touching all that come in contact with it, whether physical, through physical presence, or through the divine. And so, as we walk in this spiritual bliss and forest as expressions of divine love, we know this to be the truth of ourselves, and we release this to the law of mind for action as we know that this is so, and so it is. God is love, that love surrounds me. In this love I safely dwell. 'Tis below, beneath, within me. God is mine, and all is well. God is love, pure love. God is love, sweet love. That love is mine, mine, and all is well. At this time, wherever you are, I invite you to now close your eyes as we go into this moment of silence. Take a deep breath in and out, and go within. And so we come out of this silence. Wow, wasn't that wonderful? At this time, we're going to invite you to stand for our first hymn, All Hail the Power. Please stand, thank you.
All hail the power, truth to save from error's mighty throne. Let joyful songs of praise abound, for God is all
seated. And I'm going to invite our congregation. I feel this energy just to stretch. Just to stretch your hands and just, yes, just like that. Take a deep breath. Yes, and wave. Yes. So, we have our main message coming up from our very dynamic and exciting speaker. No stranger to anyone. And for those who may have joined us for the first time during the service, we welcome you. She is going to talk to us from about the topic, or within the topic, from good to great to grand. So the power of the vision. So let us give our nurse here, our practitioner, sorry. Slip of the tongues. I always call you Reverend Sandra Cooper. No, we're going to give her a Louise Bennett applause, a rousing applause. Come on, we need to get energy. We need to do better than that. Yes? Thank you.
Thank you, Tamu. Good morning, everyone. I will take any label that I get, it's God, all God. So it's a pleasure for me to be here this morning. And I thank you for bringing your energy and your spirit to this sanctuary to be part of this experience. I want to say a special welcome to two persons who haven't been here for a while. Jennifer and Karenga. Pauline. I mean, it's always good to see you at the back of the church, and I don't see you for a long, long time. So welcome back to our sanctuary, to our hearts, to our homes. A special welcome also to those of you who are joining online. It's easy to sort of get up, get a cup of coffee, and just click, and you're with us here at the Temple of Light. So, it's awesome to have you here. I just ask you to turn to the person next to you and say, I'm deeply grateful that you have chosen to be here. I am deeply grateful that you have chosen to be here. Okay. Yes, it's a choice. It's a powerful choice. And it's just awesome that you have chosen to be here. Now, over this past month, we have been exploring the topic from good to great to grand. We have looked at our inner landscape and taken stock of where we are, what values we aspire to, and how we can begin to live those values in new and powerful ways. We have developed clarity around who we are and the spaces we want to live from. We want to consider how to create spaces and opportunities for others to do the same. Because it's not just about me alone. It's about all of us. Our intention then is to create a collective experience that supports our vision of a world that works for all, where everyone is empowered to express and live authentically. You can imagine what it would be like if you could be yourself 100% all the time, every time, and not have to go, oh, I'm fine. And inside you're just bubbling, you want to say something or do something. If we could just have love flowing from us all the time to just be authentic, that would be amazing. So this week we move from the individual to the collective. And we're going to see how the two connect. And we're going to explore this movement from good to great to grand and look at what it looks like on a communal level. How do we create supportive spaces that honor and encourage the authenticity of others? Because if I'm inauthentic, you cannot be authentic. If I put on, you're going to put on too, right? How do we begin to foster culture where people feel safe to explore and express their true selves? In this church we have this thing called, unofficially, called Truth Student Syndrome, where because we study truth, we're not supposed to sick. Are we not supposed to be broke? Are we not supposed to have relationships that pop down? Right? But life is occurring all the time. And the challenge that we have as truth students is to use the principles that we are taught to address life when it occurs. So the answer, when we have persons who are able to be authentic and to express and explore their true selves, free of judgment and fear of rejection, wouldn't that be awesome if you could be in that space? So the answers to these questions require that we extend our work beyond lip service and find ways to actively impact the world around us through meaningful actions and engagement. Raise your hand if you can remember your earliest introduction to the science of mind. First time. Yes. Now, I came into this space in 1983, and I just could not get enough to satisfy my hunger and thirst for truth. You ever felt that way? It just, the classes and Reverend Elmer's teachings and what we were learning from each other, it was just so powerful. And I found that the teaching was life transforming. It made a big, big difference in my life, and I wanted more. And so you felt that way too, don't? Raise your hand. All right. As time passed and I grew more and more, I came to realize that I needed something more. It couldn't be just get a belly full and go home. I wanted others to benefit from this teaching the same way that I did. And so this desire for something greater never diminished my aspirations for myself, but I also wanted to include the well-being and success of others. And so it was in this space that I pursued practitioner studies and discovered the real essence of what it means to move from good to great to grand. Now, it's natural in this teaching when you come for the first time to focus on me. What can I get out of this? Who am I? What do I want? How can I achieve my dreams? How do I release the chains of lack, of fear, of limitation that keep me sort of just in one space? So this phase is essential as it lays a foundation for us to build character and acquisition of the skills necessary for our spiritual unfoldment. Skills like prayer, spiritual mind healing treatment, meditation, visioning, and so on. And so one of the things that we do as we move along is to, instead of focusing on what can I achieve, it's shifting to how can I help others to achieve their dreams. On the horizon, we are pulled by the power of the vision of a world that works for everyone. And we want to know, as we move to the collective, how can I help to make this happen? The journey from good to great to grand is about transcending just personal achievement and embracing a higher purpose. Grand is not just about being excellent. It's about creating an environment where excellence is contagious. It's about building communities, inspiring movements, and leaving a legacy that continues to lift others long after we're gone. Yesterday, I have a client who, I got friendly with her during the time that we were working together earlier this year. And so she told me that her spouse had a physical challenge and he had to retire early. And then some weeks later, she called to tell me that he had passed. And I didn't know this man from Adam, but I just had this urge to go and support her. And my intention was to hug her up and leave. I was riveted. All the tributes and the remembrance of this person. This is a man who had made his mark on society, in government service, in his community. And I drove away from that space thinking, what kind of legacy am I leaving? Have you ever thought that? And not just the stuff in your home or the money in the bank, but what are you leaving for others in terms of how are you helping others to grow and be better and be different and facilitate their transformation? That was a very humbling experience for me. So to help others thrive, we need to create spaces that are authentic, inclusive, and nurturing. In this authentic space, we are true to ourselves and we encourage others to do the same. It involves our being vulnerable, honest, expressing compassion, and commitment to make genuine connections, not just saying, hi, how you doing? Everything all right? Good to see you. But how do we, so let's stop and spend time and talk to someone that we don't know. Who are they? You know what them name? And you talk to them every Sunday for 20 years. Yeah, let's see if we can make it a little deeper. Here at the temple, we have been looking a little bit more outward. And we have been really expanding our community outreach. And one of the ways in which we have been doing this is through our legal offerings. We give thanks for all the legal luminaries in our center who offer their time and talent free of cost. And we're doing it every Saturday now, Auntie Jeannie, for the most part. And I hear that we're putting some ads on Cool FM, so we're going to get others coming in as well. Any question you might want to ask about your will, your property, any legal challenges you might have, come here on a Saturday morning between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. You'll have someone you can talk with. So nurturing others involves providing support, encouragement, and resources, which is one of the things we are doing. It means recognizing potential. This morning we had some glitches, and I sat there and I was thinking, Vance had to go off on a retreat. Vance is the person who does his song. And so I got a sense that we need to have a core of our tech team. We cannot just depend on one person for one thing, don't you think? So we have a core. We need to expand the core, so that we have a couple of, in the royal realm they talk about the heir and the spare, and you have many in line of succession. But we want a little bit like that as well. We want to know we have 3 or 4 persons that we can call on to do sound, to do the streaming, to do all of that. Volunteers welcome. We're open to that. So the grand vision that we have is one where we move beyond our own success to the collective empowerment. We're helping to create a world where people are not just surviving, but thriving. Where they're not only good or great, but grand in their own unique way. It's a vision where every person's light shines brightly, illuminating the path for others and creating positive changes. Now, as we shift focus from lifting ourselves to lifting others, we realize that our true legacy lies not in what we achieve alone, but in what we inspire others to achieve. There are many persons I know who have left here last Saturday to make some new choices about their lives, coming from the input that they have had from our lawyers. So we can inspire others to be better, to be good, to be great, to be grand. Okay? People see that we are showing up differently when we behave this way, especially in the face of adversity. When life happens, yes, we might have a little moment, but we can rise and come away from it very quickly. Ernest Holmes writes, "It is far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it." Makes sense, don't it? It makes powerful sense what we hear on a Sunday morning. However, when life happens, how quickly, easily, and readily are we able to apply the truth? Now, so we don't want to just recite it. We want to be able to live it. We have to live the principles, and to do so from a space of authenticity. Friends, we all have a collective responsibility to support others on their journey of self-discovery and self-actualization. That is love expressing at its best. And it fosters an environment where people feel free to explore their authentic selves, unfettered by others' expectations and judgments. Such an endeavor requires empathy, to put yourself in another person's shoes, to kind of get where they're coming from. It requires compassion and a deep respect for the way they show up as individuals. A lot of persons don't show up the way we show up. but understand that we are all doing our own unique thing. When we create that space, it empowers others to bloom and blossom into their fullest expression. And it helps to craft that collective tapestry of a world that works for all. Now, as I said, this cannot be just lip service. It requires tangible actions such as authentic acts of nurturing. I mean, who is going to Sean's service on Sunday? We're providing a bus. Sean is our caretaker, right? Sean washes some of our cars. He makes sure that this place remains safe. How many of us are going to support him on Sunday? Okay, there you go. Okay. Now ask yourself, how can I make sure that my thoughts, my beliefs, and actions are aligned so as to make a positive impact on the collective experience? What will it take for me to fully embody integrity and mindfulness, infusing each action with a sense of purpose and contribution? So in your private moments, that is when you tap into the wellspring of your inner wisdom, realizing that who you are when no one is watching defines the authenticity and transforming potential that you bring to the world. Who you are in your cave or in your bedroom, that is you at your authentic self. Can you be that same self in the world? It is through this conscious alignment of the internal and external landscape that we not only shape our own lives, but also become architects of our collective reality. Remember that our thoughts, beliefs, and actions directly impact the shaping of our collective experience. By living our truth and creating space for others to self-actualize, we become beacons of empowerment, catalysts of change, and creators of a world where authenticity is the norm, and where every individual is given the opportunity to thrive. So together we'll be able to forge a path towards a world where everyone can unapologetically be themselves and contribute to a more vibrant, compassionate, and interconnected life. So you might ask, how can I make this happen? In my little neck of the woods, what can I do? You know, one of the easiest things that you can do is to listen. And we're not talking listening to respond, but listening to understand. Many of us will go, yeah, right, and we're just waiting to get our bit out. How are we really being present to what the person is saying in an effort to understand where they are coming from? And so when we listen from that space of authentic presence, okay, and empathy, we validate their experience and provide a safe space for them to express themselves. We're going to be having a workshop in a few weeks, we'll let you know when, called Heart-Centered Listening. Many of us never really learned how to listen. Took me a long time, and even now sometimes things people say will fly over my head. It's a conscious, constant practice to be able to listen. And so we're going to be doing a workshop one Saturday morning on heart-centered listening. Listen out for that. Another thing you can do in addition to listening is to offer authentic words of encouragement and tangible support, which can make a significant difference in someone's life. Whether it's a kind word, a helping hand, or simply being there in times of need, our actions can serve to deeply uplift and inspire. That lady, my client, when she saw me yesterday, she was one of those widows who wasn't sitting in mourning. She was flitting about, seeing to this, seeing to that, making sure that everything was in order, that the seating was there, that he was a JC old boy. And so she wanted to make sure that the boys sat together and this was happening and that. And so she was busy. We all grieve in different ways, don't? And when she saw me, you'd think it's a long-lost relative, she flung her arms open, and she moved from where she was and ran to me and hugged me. I'm getting God bumps now just thinking about it. And it made me realize the difference sometimes that we make to people. So it's not so much, wasn't so much what I did by going to the funeral, but even how we had related and I'd called to say, how your husband doing? And that's beyond what one should do with a client. But I make these kinds of relationships with my clients. And so how are we able to offer words of encouragement to our children, our family members, or the persons who work with us and are part of our household domestic team? The gardener, my Cynthia has been with me for 41 years. And she said to me earlier this year, I think it's time to go home, you know. And I felt a hollow emptiness in my stomach. But she's given me time to wrap my mind around that possibility. Anyway, so the authentic word. So you're commit to do some of that this week. Find somebody to say something that will give them a sense of their authentic self. A third thing you can do, offer your own spiritual insights and experiences, which can be extremely valuable. So when you share what you have learned along the way, in creating, as you get on your own journey, as life has happened, and how have you helped to overcome that? It can be very inspiring to others, because we are part of a single story. We all have challenges. We all have health issues, relationship issues, money issues, differently, of course, but sometimes I feel like I'm the only person going through something. And when we can share, the other person can feel, oh, if she can do it, then I can do it too. And it can make a difference. Building a sense of community involves fostering a supportive environment where everyone can thrive. And so we can organize group activities, spiritual gatherings, or simply just connect, as I said before. This is an area that we are seeking to build here at the temple, and we welcome your input. Just find any one of us as practitioners. Reverend Anne, Reverend Michelle is out this weekend, and say, listen, I have an idea, and share your ideas with us. We welcome them. You know, friends, we want to know that our nurturing will create a ripple effect beyond the immediate moment, okay? Our actions inspire others to also extend their love and support and create that chain reaction of positive energy. So what a wonderful way that would be to contribute to the collective consciousness and elevate the vibration of the entire planet. You know, one little effort, it will ripple and it will affect the overall. So as we make the shift from looking out only for self to looking out for others, we fulfill our deepest spiritual potential. We become beacons of light in the world, helping others find their own light. Through this journey, we discover that our true essence is love. And in giving this love freely, it returns to us abundantly. So here are some questions that I'm going to ask you to ask yourself and to respond to in this week coming. The first question: who am I when no one is looking? The second question: how do my practices and actions align with my values? I have integrity big up on the chalkboard in front of my desk. So what does integrity mean to me? It means keeping my word. It means showing up on time, right? Because if I can't say I'm in integrity and I show up late, that is a misalignment. That doesn't work. So are your values in alignment with what you are doing and saying? Number 3, how do I treat others who look, think, and act differently from me? That's a big challenge. How do I treat others who look differently, who think differently, and act differently from me? Number 4, how do I speak and think of others when they are not present? I hear like a mumbling. Right? How do I think and speak of others when they are not present? And the last one, how can I create a safe space for the authentic expression of others? You know, a lot of what Jesus taught in his ministry was about how to live and how to treat others and how to engage. I mean, the simple thing of do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. If I do something, would I want somebody to do that to me? A lot of food for thought, eh? I believe, friends, that the answers to these questions will provide insight into your next steps. And I'm seeing persons pulling out their phones to take a picture. That's fine. Right? And it will also help you to let your own authenticity and integrity guide you in cultivating an environment where every individual feels seen, heard, and celebrated. Some of us come here for many, many months, years, and they're not seen, they're not heard, and they're not celebrated. What can we do to shift that? What can we do to change that so that everyone is seen, heard, and celebrated? Our inherent greatness is amplified when we help others to realize their inherent greatness. So again, turn to the person next to you. We did this as our chant, and I just want you to say it to the person next to you. The Christ in me salutes the Christ in you. Namaste.
Christ in me salutes the Christ in you. Namaste.
Christ in me salutes the Christ in you. Namaste. Friends, our purpose is to create a world where love and compassion, as Jesus taught, are our guiding principles. No compromise. Love and compassion are our guiding principles. And at the end of the day, the outcome of doing this is going to be a world that is not just good or great, but truly grand. Namaste.
Wow. Can we give her another round of applause? Please, Louise Bennett, applause. Just a little announcement. I know it's very, very hot today, so if you're feeling a little dehydrated, please ensure to get your water from the kitchen, please. We encourage you to be well hydrated. So at this time, we're going to have a musical item by Karim Chang, and we'll invite him up to give us this item.
Good morning, everyone. I must apologize for my lateness. It's one of those mornings, but here we are nonetheless, thanks be to God. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter. But I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the wave, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, we promise you we'll fight it and bring the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. See, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we will rise, and I'll rise up. Rise like the day, I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. And we rise up, rise like the waves. We rise up in spite of the ache. We rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you, for you.
Wow. So we'll rise up again. And so at this time, I have the opportunity to invite you to rise up as we say the prayer of Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island, Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women. The truth of life to set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and a oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And at this time, we are going to hand over to Sandra Cooper to lead us in our love offering blessing.
Thanks, Damu. And so we ask that you Dig deeply into your wonderful pockets and handbags and fill the envelopes as your spirit moves you. And we just know together that God is our absolute source, our infinite, abundant source of supply. And we give from that space of abundance, knowing that our gifts go to serve this community for the work that we do within and without our borders, to truly create a world that works for everyone, where everyone moves from good to great to grand. We truly are grateful for this blessing, and as we give, we know that each of us is abundantly blessed. I give thanks that all this is so, and so it is. And so we sing together our second hymn. The blessing I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase, and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father. And so it is. And as we do our second hymn, you can come and just drop your envelope in the boxes on either side of the podium.
At this time, you may be seated. Thank you. We just would like to take this opportunity to really acknowledge the giving of our community and our blessed members who continue to contribute. So please remember that our platform, the beautiful plants, were donated by a member of the Ministry of Environment. Please remember, yes, and please clap them. Also, I'd like to really show our deepest gratitude for those who turned up for Labor Day and shared in the Labor Day project. Can you please give them a round of applause? We continue to continue this tradition. I'd like to also give thanks for their service, the musicians, our beautiful musical recital, also by Mr. Chang, our ushers, our tech team, our hospitality ladies there, or persons who may not wish to be acknowledged and to be identified as also contributing to all of these activities. So I'd like you to just give them a round of applause and send your love to them and appreciation. People who continue to give actively, and certainly to Sean, who is always giving of his service, going beyond just the requirements of his daily duties. So, and finally, I'd like us to remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please do. And for those who are on YouTube, and I encourage you to go on to YouTube to check out this channel. So at this time, we are going to move on to our closing affirmative prayer by practitioner Sandra Cooper, and then move on to our
Thank you,
song.
Tamu. Friends, we thank you so much for choosing to be here this morning. And so stand with me as we do our closing affirmative prayer. We recognize that divine presence and power, that omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent one that created each one of us out of itself, that welcomed us here this morning, that expressed as our message, as our music, as every experience that we have had this morning. We truly are grateful to know that the inspiration that we have received is now moving us to make some new choices as we reach out to embrace others, to expand our community, to allow ourselves and others to grow in extraordinary ways. We truly are grateful for this. We're grateful too for all the gifts that have come into our center through our love offering. And I'm knowing that every person in the sanctuary, every person who has hit that donate button online is especially blessed. And so as we complete our service this morning and go to our respective destinations, I know we go with God, we go with love, we go with the light and the wisdom of Spirit guiding us in every action and reaction, every word spoken, everything that we do, every encounter. It's all God and all good. And for this we are abundantly grateful. And so we lift our hearts and our consciousness, embracing the spirit of gratitude as we release these words now to that law which acts upon them and makes them our perfect experience. I truly rejoice that all this is so now, and so it is. And we say, as our going out, let there be love on earth.